I worry about, are they going to be safe? Are they going to get the same death threats that I got? You know, because I spent all of my high school experience worrying if I went around the wrong corner, I might be stabbed. And that had nothing to do with me being queer. It had everything to do with my classmates being homophobic. And so, you know, it's not a perception thing. I think it's everybody's worried about their kids and being fed information that tells them if you ban transness, if you prevent your kid from being trans, you'll keep them safe. Where what the science shows, what the data shows, is that supporting your kid in their trans identity, letting your kid try on new names, new pronouns, whatever, significantly decreases risks to their success and to their well-being. Right? We've seen that time and time again. And what's shocking to me is that the minister hasn't, as far as I can tell, as far as the minister has said, there has been no consultation of data or science about this. They're talking about trans kids commit suicide. That's one of the reasons that they're passing this policy, but they haven't consulted the actual science or data. So where are they getting that information from? Is it just from the news? Like, first and foremost, I think it's really important that we recognize the context in which this policy change is coming from, right? Like, looking south, right, there's over 560 anti-trans bills being presented this year alone that are all targeting the same thing, right? Florida's Don't Say Gay and Trans bill did the same thing. It forced teachers to out students to parents for parental consent, right? For parental inclusion. And so, you know, it seems to me that this is a motivated political action. This isn't about protecting kids or including parents. It's about motivating a particular block of voters to get out there and be vocal and get voting, and pander to that kind of need. And realistically, what we are seeing on the ground is that there are now students who feel like they don't have safe access to education, like they don't have safe access to community, right? I heard from a student that's a client of ours, comes to our youth group yesterday, who asked me, you know, should I be afraid because my teacher knows I use this pronoun or this set of pronouns and this name at school, but my parents have threatened to kick me out if they were to ever find out that I'm trans. My parents have threatened to hurt me if they ever find out that I'm trans. So should I be afraid? Because does that mean that my teacher, come September, now has an obligation to tell my parents? Am I now in danger? Should I be planning to flee? Right? That's conversations I'm having with youth today. And no, I don't think any parent in this province wants to have that conversation. I don't think any parent wants their kid to worry about their own life because they go to school. I don't understand how those two things can equate. You know, it is undeniable that this is an infringement on people's basic human rights. You know, we have a basic human right to privacy, to agency, and to safety. And how is it that, like, when a child asks me, or a child says, oh yeah, I use this name and pronouns, but, you know, if I go home and my parents find out, I'd be in danger. Am I supposed to trust the parents over that, over the child who's asking for privacy, right? The same as I'm sure you don't want your parents knowing about all the decisions, all the fast food you've eaten this month, you know? You don't want them to kind of invading on your life that way. Everybody has a semblance of privacy from their parents, right? So who are we to choose to decide at a governmental level that this is a particular area that students don't have privacy over, that students don't get the choice to make the decision over who's safe, right? We all should be able to choose what is safe for us, and taking that away from a person isn't in line with Canada's human rights. It's so easy to see 566 anti-trans bills in 2023 in the States, right? So easy to see that, to see things like Policy 713 out of New Brunswick, to see this policy here in Saskatchewan, to see all of this anti-queer, anti-trans rhetoric out there, and let it get to you, right? And it beats you down, and it makes you feel like everything is hopeless. But As much as I feel that too, every day I feel that sense of hopelessness trying to set in. And I just tell myself, you know what, we're going to win. Because when you look at history, every time, the people who are trying to keep others down are the ones who end up being on the wrong side of history, right? And you can see it with our own movement, you can see it with the civil rights movement in the States, right? It takes a long time, and it gets scarier before it becomes easier. And I think that's where we're at right now. You know, things have been getting better for so long, and now we are at a point where we're seeing that backlash. But that means we're at the end of it, I think, you know? And I keep on telling myself we will win. And I keep on telling everybody around me that this whole thing is designed to, this whole attack on trans folks in the last year is designed not necessarily to win, not necessarily to legislate us out of existence, but it's designed to beat us down, to make us feel like this is hopeless and like we'll never win. We'll never be able to be safe as who we are. Because when I'm hopeless, I don't do anything about it. I stay home, I hide, right? And so when we talk about queer joy as resistance, we mean it because queer joy is the antidote to that, right? Getting together with your friends, playing some board games, having some laughs, and feeling like it's okay to be yourself means that, you know what? Tomorrow you're going to be able to go out there and say to your friend, hey, that was really gross. That was really transphobic of you. Maybe don't say that. And it's just going to give you that a little bit. So that's really what I'm trying to focus on right now, you know, is finding those ways to be out there and just enjoy who I am, enjoy life and be happy.